Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Governor Hochul is launching new efforts to tackle gun violence in the state. She says the efforts will award millions of dollars for intervention organizations and job training. Big Fox's Matt Kleindens joins us from Corning to break down the details.
Good evening, Ann. Tens of millions of dollars will be given out in an effort to save lives from gun violence. This announcement comes as Elmira experiences a surge in violent crime.
Good evening, everyone. I am so happy to be here.
During a meeting with the God Squad organization, Governor Hochul announced new efforts to tackle gun violence in the state.
Everybody deserves to live on a street that's safe. And it breaks my heart as a mom and as a human being to know that black children are 10 times more likely to lose their lives to gun violence than a white child.
The state is giving out over $23 million in grants to fund 3 programs to address the issue. The first program will give $16 million to cities for job training and placement programs. The second will give $5 million to develop community activities in areas riddled by violence. And the final program will give $2 million to gun violence intervention organizations to hire more staff.
We need to give them hope, get them out of these desperate situations, and give them an alternative.
The announcement comes as Elmira experiences an uptick in gun violence. Chemung County Sheriff Bill Schramm says the increase in violence is hurting city residents.
Innocent people are getting shot at or hit that have nothing to do whatsoever with the issue at hand.
Governor Hochul hopes these efforts will help keep city streets safe for everybody.
I want to be that focused on giving people a whole new lease in life, at the same time protecting our streets.
Matt Kleindens, Big Fox, WYDC in Corning.
Mass shootings have risen during the COVID pandemic. Researchers looked at data from the Gun Violence Archive for April of last year through this July. During the studied 15-month period, 217 people were killed and almost 1,500 injured in 343 mass shootings. They defined mass shootings as incidents where 4 or more people, not including the shooter, were killed or injured. July of last year saw 88 such incidents, more than twice as many as the 42 during the previous July, almost double the 45 in July of 2018. The researchers believe social and economic factors associated with the pandemic may be increasing mass shootings. The Steuben County Legislature is recognizing the Sheriff's Office by declaring next week Steuben Sheriff's Week. In a statement, Legislative Chair Scott Van Etten said the Sheriff's Office is a part of the community with duties going far beyond the role of keeping the peace. The Sheriff's Office was recently recognized for partnering with the County Health Department and training to become certified medical technicians. This year is the 225th anniversary of the Steuben County Sheriff's Office. Arnott Health is preparing for the upcoming deadline for healthcare workers to get vaccinated. Yesterday, a memo was sent out to Arnott employees asking to declare their intent before September 27th. Employees can either get vaccinated, request an accommodation, or decline the vaccine altogether. Arnott says they're addressing responses daily, and they're working on contingency plans to ensure quality care of patients. Booster shots will be center stage at an FDA advisory committee tomorrow. The debate continues about whether booster shots are safe and effective. Griff Jenkins has more.
An FDA advisory committee meets tomorrow to vote on whether or not a Pfizer booster shot is safe for the general population. The meeting comes as the Biden administration makes a push for boosters, with plans to roll out a campaign as early as next week. But the issue is dividing health experts. This week, a group of international scientists, including 2 top FDA vaccine regulators, rejected the extra shots for healthy individuals.
There's a small benefit in reducing severe illness or hospitalizations if they're over age 60. Under age 60, it's really not very clear. And of course, there's that group of people who never got a good response who are immunosuppressed.
Federal health regulators say they need more time to review Moderna's booster application. The drug company releasing new data showing its vaccine is effective in preventing severe COVID from new variants. But researchers say efficacy decreased over time. Those who received the vaccine more recently had a lower risk of breakthrough infection.
If you got a Pfizer, I wouldn't go run out and get a second Moderna series just because you feel like it's substandard.
Meanwhile, more vaccine mandates are going into effect. In Los Angeles County, customers and employees at indoor bars, wineries, and nightclubs will soon have to show proof they've gotten a COVID vaccine. The initiative goes into effect next month.
Not everyone's just making it such a partisan issue, making it more of a human issue, a health issue.
But today, Florida will start handing out $5,000 fines to businesses that require COVID vaccine proof. In Washington, Griff Jenkins, Fox News.
Another twist in a South Carolina mystery. Alex Murdoch is expected to turn himself in today. The prominent lawyer's wife and son were shot and killed 3 months ago. Now, an affidavit alleges he told police that he arranged for a former client to kill him so his surviving son could collect a life insurance payout. Britt Conway breaks down the timeline building up to today's surrender.
Truth is stranger than fiction in this case.
And the truth lies somewhere in the twists and turns of the lives and deaths of the Murdoch family. Today, Alex Murdoch is expected to turn himself in on charges of conspiracy to commit insurance fraud. But tragedy surrounding his family began years ago. In 2018, Gloria Satterfield, the Murdoch family housekeeper, died in what was described as a trip and fall accident at their home. In 2019, his son Paul was charged in a deadly boating accident that killed 19-year-old Mallory Beach. June 7th this year, Paul and his mother Maggie Murdoch were found shot to death. June 22nd, information from the investigation prompts officials to reopen an investigation into the 2015 unsolved death of Stephen Smith. September 3rd, Murdoch resigns from his law firm. The 4th, he calls 911 and says he was shot on a South Carolina road. On the 9th, his lawyer says he's in rehab for an opioid addiction. September 13th, South Carolina police begin investigating allegations by Murdoch's former law firm that he misappropriated funds. On the 14th, Curtis Edward Smith is charged for allegedly shooting Murdoch as a part of a conspiracy to commit insurance fraud. The 15th, police open a criminal investigation into the death of Gloria Satterfield in 2018 and the handling of her estate. And today, Murdoch's expected surrender. I'm Britt Conway reporting.
Police have now named a person of interest in the search for Gabby Petito, who disappeared last month while on a cross-country trip with her boyfriend. Jonathan Seri has the latest from Northport, Florida.
Police now naming the boyfriend of missing 22-year-old Gabby Petito a person of interest. Investigators say Brian Laundrie is lawyering up and refusing to answer any of their questions.
We're conducting a missing person investigation, and 2 people went on a trip and 1 person returned, and that person that didn't return is Gabby. There's only 1 other person that was with her.
23-year-old Laundrie had been traveling out west with Petito, but quietly returned alone to his parents' home in Northport, Florida, 10 days before his girlfriend was reported missing. Police in Utah releasing this body camera footage showing an emotional Petito with Laundrie on August 12th. Officers were responding to a 911 call reporting a domestic incident between the two. Meanwhile, authorities and Gabby's family are urging Laundrie to cooperate with the investigation, but so far he's refused.
It's heart-wrenching. We can't. I got nothing that's my only daughter, and I can't. Right now, I can't give her a hug. I know she needs it, and she needs help, and she's nowhere to be found. I don't know, where to even begin.
Gabby's father, Joe Petito, expressing his frustration with Laundrie.
One person who's supposed to be leading the charge is sitting home in his lazy boy chair, not talking to anybody.
Gabby Petito was last seen in Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming. Investigators are asking anyone with information to contact the FBI. In Northport, Florida, Jonathan Seri, Fox News.
Former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin entered a not guilty plea Thursday to federal charges against him involving a 14-year-old boy. According to prosecutors, Chauvin held the boy by the throat and hit him in the head with a flashlight in 2017. He allegedly also held his knee on the boy's neck while he was handcuffed and not resisting. The charges are separate from additional federal charges that Chauvin is facing for violating George Floyd's civil rights in 2020. He's also pleading not guilty in that case. Chauvin is currently serving a 22.5-year prison sentence for a state conviction in Floyd's murder. Trial dates have not yet been set for either federal case against Chauvin. A test of party unity in Congress as Democrats work together to pass their $3.5 trillion social spending package. Now, Republicans are in strong opposition, and they're hopeful some of the more moderate Democrats can sink the bill or at least trim it down in size. Madeline Rivera has more from Washington.
The divide between moderate and progressive Democrats seems to be getting wider as they try to hammer together a $3.5 trillion spending package. On Wednesday, 3 Democrats in the House Energy and Commerce Committee sided with Republicans to drop a provision that would allow Medicare to negotiate drug pricing, signaling challenges ahead as the party struggles to stay united.
We can't get it over the finish line. No one should be proud of or get credit for what they happen to be in favor of.
A similar provision was passed by another committee, but the dispute underscores sharp policy differences as moderates look to curb new spending. In the House, Democrats can only lose 3 votes. The situation even tougher in the evenly divided Senate.
I think that we're making progress. We always knew there was going to be intense negotiations about this bill. The president is now involved, and I think we all understand these 2 bills go together.
Moderate Senators Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema met with the president on Wednesday to discuss the package. A smaller bill, though, could risk progressive votes as Republicans slam the plan.
You think it's fun to keep spending this money and say, well, here's why we're doing it, because we're trying to help people. Burying them in debt that they'll never be able to get out of?
Democratic leaders are hoping to send completed legislation to President Biden within the coming weeks, but the process is likely to be delayed as the party works through its differences. In Washington, Malda Rivera, Fox News.
Still ahead tonight, an FDA advisory committee is set to meet tomorrow to talk about recommending a COVID-19 vaccine booster shot, while local county health departments are preparing for the potential of a booster rollout.
I don't think the question is, if we're going to get a booster shot. The question is going to be when.
But there's still some confusion over the process. More on the latest discussions the FDA committee is expected to vote on regarding booster shots.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
Tonight's Big Fox forecast is brought to you by William Mattar. Good evening, everyone. The cold front that moved through our area that did spark off a few showers and thunderstorms is now moving into the Atlantic, taking the moisture away as well. As you can see, not hardly any clouds behind the system as high pressure builds in. We're keeping a track on another system that is located in the Dakotas right now. You can see showers and thunderstorms from this system that will be moving in for this weekend. In addition to that, we have another tropical disturbance that is taking shape just east of the Atlantic coast and of course north of the islands. It will continue to drift to the north. This combined with that cold front will bring extra moisture into the area, and so we are expecting chances of rain as we head into your Friday, at least late in the day, and also into the weekend. So there could be a few showers and thunderstorms by the end of the day, and then we should see a little bit drier conditions by the end of the weekend. So here's a look at your planner for your Friday. We are expecting a few showers by the afternoon. We are going to start off with some fog though, especially with all that moisture in our ground, and temperatures and the dew points will be very close together, an indication that the air is saturated, and so we're going to have some low-level clouds early in the day on Friday. But I think we should see some periods of sunshine warming up to around 80 degrees in the afternoon for your Friday. So it is going to be just a tad warmer than normal. Let's take a look at our future radar, where we're seeing not a lot going on for tonight or even early tomorrow. However, moving into the afternoon, notice showers will start to light up just to our east out ahead of that cold front. So that low pressure system that I was telling you about that will be developing in the Atlantic, the tropical system, will start to move to the north, and that will bring a little bit more moisture back. And then we're going to see a few more showers coming in from the west out ahead of that cold front by the end of the day on Friday. And then that cold front gets a little bit closer on Saturday. And so I think we will have increasing rain chances as we head into your Saturday. There could be a few thunderstorms in the morning hours as well. And with those thunderstorms, there's the potential of gusty winds and also a few downpours, and then a few more showers during the day on Saturday. So we do have chances of rain as we head into the early part of the weekend due to not only that tropical system, but also a cold front that will be approaching. Here's a look at your forecast. Tonight, we bottom out to around 65 degrees in Corning, 63 in Elmira. Mostly cloudy conditions. It will be warm and humid. Showers will be possible by the end of the day on Friday. Expect increasing cloud cover, though, during the day, and it will be a humid day with highs in the low 80s in Corning and in Elmira, but cooler in Perkinsville and in Bath, where highs will be in the upper 70s. We are expecting a little bit cooler conditions by early next week, but we should enjoy a little bit of sunshine behind that cold front that will be sweeping in.
An FDA advisory committee is set to meet tomorrow to talk about recommending COVID-19 vaccine booster doses. And while local health departments are preparing for a rollout, there's still some confusion about the process. And it's still unclear what the committee will decide. Mandy Gaither has the latest in today's Health Minute.
Dueling data. That's what's facing an FDA advisory committee ahead of Friday's meeting on boosters.
I just think that we need to let the FDA, drive this whole discussion.
On one side, vaccine maker Pfizer citing data out of Israel and its own studies suggesting evidence of waning vaccine immunity. But other health experts believe boosters aren't needed now. Advisors will see this recently released document that says the benefit of boosters is likely limited if first and second doses are still effective. And earlier this week, 2 retiring FDA leaders wrote in the Lancet, COVID-19 vaccines don't currently show a need for boosting.
I don't think the question is, if we're going to get a booster shot. The question is going to be when.
The clock is ticking. White House officials have targeted the week of September 20th to start giving out third shots to all who got the Pfizer vaccine pending FDA and CDC authorization. Ahead of a decision, local health departments are planning for a potential booster rollout, but with some confusion. The CEO of an organization that represents local health officials saying, "We don't want to be unprepared. We don't want to appear uncoordinated on boosters." And no matter the decision on Friday, it's not clear how long a third shot would protect people.
We're just going to have to do the boost and then follow people long enough to determine what the durability of that protection is.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
A Texas school district is trying to track down the people who've been stealing bathroom and safety supplies. Officials believe it's linked to a new TikTok challenge encouraging thefts. Stephanie Douglas reports.
It's an alarming trend going viral on TikTok, influencing students to remove bathroom items like sinks, soaps, and hand sanitizers. But hygiene supplies aren't the only things that have gone missing.
Items that have gone missing include fire extinguishers, fire flashers, which are a visual indication for the hearing impaired, or emergency exit signs.
MISD spokesperson Elena Ladd says the district has received several reports of the challenge happening at its secondary campuses and has opened investigations into the thefts.
We are reviewing security camera footage of our schools to make sure that we are able to identify and locate any students who have been taking part in these activities.
The district says it plans to take serious action against students who are found guilty.
Students who are caught removing items like this from school not only could face potential criminal charges, but also disciplinary consequences like suspensions and removal from their campus to an alternative campus.
If you're in the market for a new or used car, get ready to pay even more. Hurricane Ida might be to blame for this latest round of price increases, and now there are concerns that people might be buying flood-damaged vehicles. Jen Sullivan reports.
Car prices are already at historic highs, but this hurricane season is wiping out the already tight inventories as demand soars, creating the perfect storm to drive up prices.
The flooding and damages that are caused by hurricanes, it pushes consumers into the market to find replacement vehicles. So obviously that's going to cause more demand on an already constrained market.
Car prices, both new and used, soared this summer, driven by computer chip shortages and limited production of other spare parts. Prices peaked in July, but are still up 32% from a year earlier. But now there's concern another hike may be ahead.
This has always been uncharted territory, especially due to COVID. We don't expect relief regarding the microchip shortage and also pricing going into 2022 and 2023.
Floodwaters from Hurricane Ida last month destroyed hundreds of thousands of cars, including many that were on car dealer lots. And at the same time, the storm created a sudden surge in demand for cars.
Dealers have indicated that there is demand, especially on the new market and also the used market, for the vehicles that they have, but they just don't have the supply to fulfill that.
If you're in the market for a new car, beware. Carfax estimates that there are 370,000 storm-damaged cars on the road today, often sold to unsuspecting buyers.
Being mindful and also being conscious of the vehicle and trying to get an extensive history of that vehicle is probably most important.
For today's Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Microsoft is letting users ditch their passwords. The tech giant announced in a blog post it will give users ways to access their accounts without a password. They can download the Microsoft Authenticator app to their smartphone, use a security key, or a verification code sent to your smartphone or an email address. Another option is Windows Hello, which scans your face, iris, or fingerprint. Microsoft says these new passwordless features will be rolled out in the coming weeks. Some people in rural Wisconsin encountered something quite unexpected. Megan Kernan reports they saw zebras on the loose, and they have the video to prove it.
I'm right outside of Seymour. There's a couple of zebras walking down the middle of the road. And if you think I'm kidding, I'm not.
In Wisconsin, when people see a black and white animal on the side of the road, it's usually cows. But these were animals of a different stripe.
I'm on an African safari in a garbage truck. Good Lord.
You can see here on the video where David Haupt was driving. He spotted two zebras on the corner of County G Highway and Maas Road, just outside of Seymour.
They were off in the distance. As I got closer, they looked like horses. And I got closer and I happened to be talking to somebody on my headset. And I'm like, I think I see a zebra. They're like, no way. I'm like, nope, those are zebras.
Haupt says the zebras were friendly when he chased them off into a hayfield so they would be off the busy road and let the Outagamie County Sheriff's Office know right away.
Well, it's not the first exotic animal call we've ever gotten. Every once in a while you get something different. But yeah, having a garbage truck driver call you and say, well, there's two zebras in the road is a bit unusual.
The sheriff's office posted pictures that were shared by more than 1,000 people. Deputies say they belonged to neighbors nearby who were very quick to respond before rounding up the pair about 40 minutes after these pictures were taken and got them home safely.
A friend of the owners had actually messaged me as well, let me know that those two are very well taken care of.
Authorities referred the matter to the Wisconsin DNR, but have no further concerns about the situation. Haupt's video on Facebook has been seen by more than 33,000 people and shared over 1,000 times.
I mean, only in Wisconsin you're going to find all that.
We want to leave you with a smile tonight. Take a look, toy fans. The Stroll National Museum of Play has released the finalists for the 2021 Toy Hall of Fame. And this year's list includes something for everyone. Some of the finalists include American Girl dolls, Battleship, billiards, Cabbage Patch Kids, and a little bit of good clean fun here, sand. Fans can vote for their favorite on the Stroll National Museum of Play website through September 22nd. The finalists will be announced on Thursday, November 4th. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great night.